Hey, what's up everybody? ESAM here bringing you another video. This one going to be part 2 of my tier list video for the end of 2017. I'm going to be going over the low tiers today. I'm not going to have the bottom tiers on the screen, so if you want the bottom tiers, please go check out the last video. It will be in a playlist because I'm going to be making a playlist probably before I upload this. And just to make sure that everyone knows, if you are in the same tier or a character is in the same tier as another character, they are essentially equal. So I don't want people being like, oh, well, I think that the first character you talk about is worse than the third character you talk about. Like, they're all pretty much the same. There are not enough discernible differences or enough like data to really be like, this character is objectively worse than this other character. So anyway, let us get started. So the first character I'm going to be talking about is Falco. So Falco, pretty bad. I do think he's not a great character. However, I feel like he has too many good things in order to put him in bottom 10. So he just kind of like gets a little bit better than that. His advantage is actually ridiculous. He has amazing combos, really good individual moves. I really like his back air, his up air, and his down tilt. They're all pretty good. His recovery is somewhat abusable, but less so than the bottom tiers. He does so much damage. If you can consistently frame cancel, which a lot of Falcos randomly can for some reason, he gets so many big combos. Like, I definitely see some South Florida Falcos just get massive combos, like grab it like 10 equals, like people are at 70, and then, you know, obviously he has really good ledge coverage when it comes to both back air to cover ledge jump or up smash to cover most things. He has some pretty good things, but yeah, I do believe he is still pretty bad. Really bad disadvantage state, really bad recovery, or abusable recovery, I guess. And he doesn't really have very many good landing hitboxes, because I don't know why everyone thinks landing forward air is safe. It's not. Like, I can drop shield forward tilt, which is like a frame 13 action. So if you can do something that's frame 13 or 14 or something like that, I'm pretty sure you're able to punish Falco's forward air landing. So Falco just has, like, if he gets hit, he dies, and he unfortunately does not have a good enough neutral to really mitigate him getting hit at all. So that's why I'm going to put him in low tier. Next up is going to be a character that a lot of people think is like super trash, which is going to be Zelda. I don't know why Zelda was in a weird spot, so it took me a little bit to find her. So Zelda, similar to Falco, bad neutral, bad disadvantage, but the advantage state that Zelda has is really strong. Has pretty good throw combos. You know, you have down throw nair into like potential follow-ups. You have a kill confirm off of a grab, which is down throw up air, which is a true combo at a lot of percents. She has a lot of potential like 50-50s with air dodge reads, like off stage. She can kill people very early. She obviously has the lightning kicks, back air, and forward air. She does have up B at a shield, which is an incredibly threatening option, so you cannot just hit her shield all willy-nilly. But the obvious big problem with Zelda is one of the worst characters at getting off the ledge in the entire game, in my opinion. It is so hard for her to get off the ledge. Like, I know I'd be watching Ed play when before he retired, and he would just be winning and then get put on the ledge at like 10% and then go to 150% versus like a mid or a high tier, and that's pretty much the life of Zelda. It's really difficult for Zelda to get back on the ground or back in the air. Like, a lot of times Zelda will be, instead of like trying to land on top of people, I mean, she has her Nehru's Love, because people don't like the way I pronounce that actually, you know, which can mix up some invulnerability, but just shielding on landing is such a good option versus her, and that really puts her down here, in my opinion. Very similar character to Falco, actually, in terms of the overall, like, pretty good recovery, though, for Zelda. Kind of hard to mess with unless you're going to try to two-frame, but that's risky because of the forwards win hitbox. But then you have bad ability to get off the ledge, bad disadvantage, but pretty good when you get hits in. And so Zelda's a pretty scary character, but still definitely going to be low tier. And the next character is going to be a character that is quite the opposite of these characters, and that is going to be 1111 Mii Gunner. I do think Mii Gunner is the best Mii. Her neutral is obviously significantly better than the other two. Her disadvantage is obviously significantly better than the other two because she has that forward air that can just relocate her to the other side of the stage. You know, the main problem with her is going to be the lack of killing, because once you stop getting hit by down smash, you're probably not going to be dying to much that this character has. I mean, her other kill options are more so back air or anything else. Like, forward air doesn't kill, up air kills very late. She's not really going to spike you because that's kind of difficult. So this character definitely just nickel and dimes you until she finally can read a ledge option, like a roll with a down smash or a jump with a back air and things like that. And that's going to be the main way she's going to get kills. Her neutral is very strong. Her punish game is kind of weak, but she's just going to nickel and dime you to death pretty much. And then her disadvantage is actually pretty good because of that forward air. It's really hard to pin her down unless you are an incredibly fast character. Like, mostly like high and top tiers are going to be the ones that can really abuse her, but the mid tiers and low tiers a little bit less so. But that lack of killing is so important, because as I mentioned in my last video, you cannot struggle to kill in a game with rage, and that's really bad, and so that's pretty much going to be the ultimate downfall of her. But put her into low tier, definitely, in my opinion, still the best Mii. And staying on the zoner theme, we are going to have Wii Fit Trainer. I have no idea how John Numbers does what he does with this character. John Numbers is absolutely amazing. He is so good with this character, but I feel like a lot of it is people's reluctance to go off stage because obviously Wii Fit Trainer on stage, one of the worst characters in the game, but off stage definitely can hold her own versus even some mid, high, and top tiers. But if you just kind of know what the character is doing, it's a lot easier. If you know how to hit volleyball back or just in startup, if you know how to punish deep breathing, if you know how to punish Sun Salutation or like the threat of Sun Salutation, then it definitely does make Wii Fit struggle a lot more on the ledge. She does have pretty good kill potential. She does have some pretty decent kill setups. I have seen John Numbers get kills very, very early percent. Her damage output, if she gets like a landing nair, is amazing because she can do like landing nair, full hop nair, up air, which does like 30 something just with those moves. And so she can nickel and dime you to death. She obviously has the healing potential with her deep breathing as well as her full Sun Salutation, which kind of makes it annoying to fight her. But the hardest thing is she puts herself off stage, which already gives you major advantage in terms of like stage position and things like that. And if you are able to get the hit, her recovery is pretty good, but it is definitely abusable. So if you get a decent edge guarding character, you can just kill her very, very easily. And that is going to be the hardest thing about her. And also the fact that, she doesn't really have any kill confirms off of throws, or her throws don't exactly kill either. Maybe like starting at like 150, 160 near the ledge. I think up throw kills at like 170, kind of like a Pikachu up throw. But so she does struggle to kill a little bit if the person is being careful and jumping over projectiles, and so that's going to be the ultimate downfall of her. Still a decent character, but definitely a low tier character. And next, a character that had a little bit of limelight, and occasionally has some decent tournament results, but is still, in my opinion, a low tier, and that is going to be Palutena. So Palutena has like 7 usable moves, but those 7 usable moves are amazing. Her back air is amazing, her forward air is amazing, her up air is amazing, her jab is amazing, her dash attack is amazing, and that's about it. And her grab, obviously. I might be missing 1 or 2, but Palutena has probably the most unusable moves in a moveset in the entire game, but it makes up for it for having all those moves that I mentioned probably be like high tier versions of all of those moves. Those moves are amazing. Obviously back air and dash attack have invulnerability, so it's very hard to approach her both when she's in the air and when she's on the ground facing you. She does have a kill confirm or a 50-50 at least depending on percents with down throw up air. That is definitely a thing. Talking to TLTC, he has talked about that. But the thing is, she really, if you just kind of pay attention to the threat ranges of those few moves, you can just pick her apart. Her disadvantage isn't that great, assuming you can get to the front of her when she's falling. She obviously has teleport mix-ups that can kind of like edge cancel, get her at a disadvantage, but if you don't let her go to tripod, that's going to be significantly harder. It is just kind of difficult, really, to get anything done as Palutena. She does have throw combos, but her down throw forward doesn't do that much damage. She doesn't really keep players in disadvantage, although she does have a lot of ground speed and actually pretty decent air mobility, at least at the peak. But it's just like, her moves are too long lasting for the most part to really keep people in disadvantage. So if she guesses wrong, like let's say with an up air, then you're gonna like fast fall air dodge to the ground and then be able to punish her and then keep her in disadvantage. And I don't think she's particularly good at getting off the ledge, assuming that you remember that her ledge getup is more like the Mii's ledge getup, which is a lot longer. So if you punish her neutral getup that way, it is going to get significantly harder for her to get back on stage, and her disadvantage in general is not very great. But her neutral's pretty decent, but I feel like she doesn't do enough damage to really keep up with the better characters like the mid tiers or even like the higher low tiers. So her damage output's kind of mediocre, and that's probably the main thing that's gonna hurt her, and obviously just the non-usable moves that she has, because she has so many non-usable moves. So next up, I'm going to talk about everyone's favorite boy, Shulk, the meme master, the master of potential, quote unquote. Shulk is bad. The biggest thing that makes Shulk bad is the fact that you can just kind of camp out any of the arts that you're scared of. If you're scared of Buster art, you can just run away because Shulk is kind of slow. If you're scared of Smash art when you're at high percents, you can just run away because he's kind of slow. He can't really catch you. Obviously, if he's in speed and jump, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to run away from him, but at the same time, those are going to be slightly less threatening overall, so you can just kind of hit him, and assuming you don't get hit by like that one landing nair at 45 at the ledge, which will lead to like a short hop forward air, offstage double jump forward air type of thing, 50-50. If you avoid that, Shulk really does struggle to get kills or just get and just to be threatening. Like, he does damage, but his damage doesn't really mean much because his moves are all slow. Obviously, the big thing about Shulk is quote unquote his frame data. His landing lag frame data is actually pretty good, but he does have very slow startup on pretty much every move he has. I think his fastest move is jab and his second fastest move is like up B, but either way, those are both, I think like frame 8 at fastest. You can check on kuraganahammer.com. I don't remember off the top of my head, but if you just Shulk just crumbles under pressure very, very hard, which is why he's going to be using speed and actually jump art to really diffuse the pressure that normally is put on him, but a lot of characters that can just kind of like string together moves and keep him in disadvantage will really give him a run for his money. Shulk does have some things. Obviously he does have the up air, but for deactivation 50-50 with jump art, which is very scary because his up air is one of the strongest up airs in the game, if not the strongest up air. As I mentioned, it does have some combos that can lead to offstage deaths, and he obviously has the ability to stall between jump and shield art at high percents, but it is, I feel like, not enough, because he doesn't have a lot of ways to press the issue because of the lack of offensive frame data, and that is really going to hurt him. He definitely excels when people are approaching him, but if he is forced to approach, he is a mediocre, or not even mediocre, he is a bad character, and so that is going to be what puts him down here. And next up is going to be a very similar character in terms of only good when people are approaching, and that is going to be Wario. So Wario obviously has one of the most polarizing moves in all of Smash in the Waft, but you only get that every, I think, the more usable one is actually the half waft, because you can combo it off of down air as opposed to the full waft, which is a lot slower, and you can only really combo it off of neutral air, or, you know, different setups with the bike and things like that. But Wario is a character that offensively does not have great frame data. He has one of the slowest jump squats in the game, which really hurts him, because even though he has a fairly fast forward air, it's not going to come out fast at all just because of how bad his jump squat is. He doesn't really have any good ground frame data except for down tilt, and so a lot of the time he will be retreating and kind of baiting you out, or kind of just staying in the air already so he doesn't have to short hop, which then weakens his ground game and his grab game, which is actually pretty decent. His forward throw does like 13, doesn't get any combos off of his grabs, but either way, you know, if you're threatening on the ground, then people have to worry about shielding, and while he does have the bite actually does not have particularly good hitboxes, and it's very easy to trade with bite, how you just kind of just like throw a move up and hit it. And even if he can grab armor it, I don't remember if Wario's bite grab armors, but even if he does grab armor it, you're still going to be about even in percent. And while he is a heavy character, he also struggles to have any kill setups without waft for the most part, assuming that you do not get hit by any neutral airs that could lead to footstools, which lead into forward smash. So Nair, you know, is definitely a threatening move, but he doesn't have the crazy air mobility like he had in Brawl, and also the move is significantly more punishable because of that. So a lot of the things that Wario does to try to like act quickly or to try to like close out a stock are definitely very punishable. And while his recovery and disadvantage are pretty decent because of bike, you can still hit him. It is abusable if you are a character that can go off stage and kind of mess with him. You can easily hit him off of bike and then kind of hit his up B, because it doesn't have any disjoints as far as I'm aware, or, you know, if you have any type of downer, you can just trade with it, potentially leading to a stage spike situation and get stocks early. And if he misses the waft, it's obviously very, very bad for him, because that is typically his comeback factor, because I generally think that Wario is going to be losing first stock and then be down stock too, but he obviously has the threat of waft. But if you miss that waft, or you make him use it early, it is going to be significantly more difficult for Wario to get that kill. You know, I almost wanted to put him in the tier above, but I felt like he was a little weaker than the characters I put above, because the characters you put above, you think like, wow, they're actually pretty tournament viable, and this is kind of like the lowest tier of like, they're still definitely struggling. Although Gluttony, one of the best players in Europe, probably second best player in Europe, maybe third. I think Gluttony, if he was able to travel to the US more, would probably be like a top 30, top 25 player. He is actually amazing, but I do think Wario is very, very limited. Speaking of a limited character, we're going to be talking about the most polarized character in all of Smash, which is going to be Little Mac. Little Mac, obviously one of the best ground games in the game, has trample on all of his tilts and jab, has armor on all of his smash attacks, and has amazingly good run speed, sidestep, roll, frame data. Everything about this character on the ground is good, and then you hit him and he cries. And that's why he has to be low tier, because in a game where if you get back thrown or up thrown, you might die and lose your stock, that's not good. And while he does have a bunch of comeback factors between KO, punch, just rage in general, he has decent combos. You know, there's a general strategy that you can use against him, which is if he tilts your shield, you can add a shield punish it, and if he's going for a smash attack, you have to sidestep or roll through it and then get the punish, and that is generally going to be the rule of thumb. So jab is punishable, forward tilt is punishable, down tilt and up tilt are all punishable on shield by decently fast aerials. I think probably like frame 7 aerials or faster, which most characters have, or like a quick up B at a shield. And then if he's going, you see him forward smash, you have to sidestep those or roll through them and then punish him afterwards, and that is going to be the key to beating Little Mac, because then once you get the one hit, you obviously will struggle. And so yeah, Little Mac obviously struggles in results because he's a very inconsistent character. He's a pretty good counterpick character in my opinion, because you can only play him really when you're comfortable or when you can see how the player is playing you. If you can tell they're not really campy, you know, he obviously loses to platform camping very, very hard. But if you can tell a player is being more aggressive, then Little Mac will do actually pretty decent versus them. But with how polarized he is, I cannot put him any higher than this. And last for this tier is going to be the person who fights for his friends but unfortunately his friends are all pretty much better than him, as seeing as he has the worst Fire Emblem character, and that is going to be Ike. So Ike has decent combos at low percent, obviously a crap ton of kill potential, kill confirms that are very strict with, I think, up throw, up air, and up throw nair that are very, very strict on characters. But he is very slow, has one of the most abusable recoveries in the game since you can hit it at the peak. His disadvantage is really bad. He can't land safely even a little bit. And so this character, honestly, the fact that he's so slow makes his neutral significantly worse. Short hop forward air doesn't auto cancel, so he's gonna have to full hop in order to make that any type of safe, because if he short hop forward airs and hits your shield, you can literally drop shield, dash forward, and dash grab him as almost all characters. The only way that Ikes succeed in general is just by being generally evasive and mind gamey. Like, they definitely empty hop a lot in front of people's faces and get grabbed. They really put the fear in people, but the fear is the players and not necessarily the character, because the character, most of his arrows are reactable, and obviously everything loses to shield, and he's not fast enough to really pressure your shield. Like, hit your shield, like let's say Cloud, right? Cloud back airs your shield and then can like dash forward and make you guess again. Whereas Ike, if he hits your shield, he can kind of just like walk backwards and kind of be like, okay, as long as I'm not going to get dash attacked, I'm going to be fine. So that's really, really problematic for him. You know, I will almost put him again in the tier higher than this, but I feel like some of the characters I put there are a bit better than Ike, just because, like, he's so slow and has no way to force people to approach, and then a lot of characters can just, like any projectile character pretty much can just hit the peak of his up B and punish him and just do it over and over again. Like, I know if I throw an Ike off stage, I can just T-jolt his up B over and over and over again until he's far enough out that I can forward smash it. It is just really unfortunate, or he just can't even make it back. It is really unfortunate for this character that happens, because he does have a lot of things going for him, but the fact that he is so slow and so punishable in the air make him, in my opinion, this tier of low tier. And yeah, that's actually going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. I would be having one more tier, and I was kind of just like teasing you guys with the one tier above it, but I feel like after this I really have to start categorizing characters as mid tier, because the results are, or like the theory, are just a little too good to put them as low tier, whereas this is like the last tier that really struggles to get decent results. So yeah, I mean, social media, Panda, and partner stuff is down below. Look out for the mid tier video that is going to be coming in the next couple of days, and I will see you all next time. Bye.